The very tall mountain. It simply wanted to sleep peacefully, without any noise or disturbance. But as soon as it closed its eyes, time began to fly. In the blink of an eye, the age of dinosaurs ended, and the Ice Age arrived. Shifting and moving, melting and freezing repeatedly, the massive mountain slowly transformed into a very large stone. One day, it was again in a deep sleep. Suddenly, loud noises erupted. Its sleep was broken. Time had now reached the age of humans. Some primitive humans were crafting stone tools, but the stone was still very sleepy, and soon fell asleep again. Then came the people who built villages, and with the clatter of their wooden tools, they woke it up again. Now, annoyed, the stone exerted its strength, uprooted itself from the ground, and went far into the forest. And there, finding a quiet corner, it fell into a deep sleep. But it had barely settled down when a rope was tied around its nose, and humans dragged it away to their homes. There, it was repeatedly ground and polished, becoming a round millstone. Then began its endless rotation, day and night, year after year, for countless cycles. One day, soldiers entered the room, broke the millstone, and carried the stone away. Then, it was hammered and broken into pieces, and made into a cannonball. With a shout of fire, it was launched with great force, attacking the enemies, shattering into many pieces, and falling deep into the sea. The waves tossed it around and finally washed it ashore. The weary stone now wandered aimlessly in the fields. He spotted a discarded glove in the distance. He cleaned it a little and lay down on it. He thought, now I'll finally get some peaceful sleep. But the very next moment, a scientist picked him up. Very old fossils were embedded in his body. Seeing him, the scientist became as happy as a 5-year-old child. A few days later, the innocent stone was gleaming in a glass box in a museum. Just then, a small child came running and bumped into the glass. The stone fell and rolled into a trash can by the roadside. A sanitation worker picked it up and threw it away. A boy passed by who had just been dumped by his girlfriend. In anger, he first kicked it twice, then picked up the stone and threw it hard towards his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend. The stone shattered all the glass in its path, but just as it landed on the ground, a speeding car ran over it. It was ground down and became a tiny pebble. The poor, tired pebble picked up a newspaper, put it on its head, and tried to sleep. Then a road roller came and completely crushed it into fine sand. The workers swept up the sand and dumped it on the seashore. The pebble, now sand, thought, now I will finally find peace. He made a pillow out of another grain of sand lying nearby and lay down. But suddenly, darkness fell. A nearby factory was collecting the sand. In a few minutes, it was on a conveyor belt and headed into a fiercely hot furnace. In the burning fire, it melted and transformed into a perfectly clear, sparkling piece of glass. Scientists fitted the glass into a satellite and launched it into space. On its journey, it suddenly collided with a swarm of meteoroids, causing the satellite to break apart. The piece of glass fell back to Earth, but this time it landed on Mars instead of Earth. Then millions and millions of years passed. Mars shifted, contracted, and expanded, and the piece of glass, which was once a pebble, transformed back into a tall, majestic mountain. This time, there was complete silence all around. No humans, no machines, and no cannonballs. Only the rustling of the wind and the distant rumble of thunder. The mountain took a deep breath, closed its eyes, and fell asleep with a smile. Do you think humans did the right thing or the wrong thing with the mountain? Tell us in the comments.